Mortal Kombat 1 Invasions was kind of disappointing. It's basically the single-player RPG mode that on paper sounded like the coolest thing ever, but ultimately ended up being a boring grind. So I had the incredibly dumb idea of Invasions, but we Nuzlocke it. So for the uninformed, a Nuzlocke is a Pokemon challenge that is designed to make the game harder and more interesting. So I thought, what if we take the general idea of a Nuzlocke and apply it to Mortal Kombat 1's Invasions mode? So I did. My rules for an Invasions Nuzlocke are, at the start of the Nuzlocke, you must pick one of 3 starter ninjas between Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Reptile. 1 random character is unlocked after every boss or mini-boss. 1 random character is unlocked at the start of every Mesa. Not allowed to level past the current node, which means no grinding. Should the player fail any node, that character is considered dead and goes to the Netherrealm. A failed survival or a failed texture might also count as death. The goal is simple: beat Raid Boss Natara at the end and survive. So if you guys like this idea, maybe I'll do it for every new season, so subscribe if you want to see that. Let's get started. So to start us off at Professor Kang's lab, we picked Sub-Zero as our starter, and we're on our way through the first Mesa, the Fire Temple. So if I'm being honest, the Fire Temple was smooth sailing up until we hit our first Survive node. These nodes have projectiles raining down from all sides as a way to test the player's reflexes. Last season, these were a joke, so I didn't expect much until... So this is our first actual test. Let's see. How bad will this actually be? That did a lot of damage. That did a ton of damage. Hold on. Holy shit. That was very close. Holy crap. Okay, they were not messing around on making the survivals hard. That's going to be our real tests, isn't it? At least until the levels start going crazy is the survivals. Holy crap. So clearly they juiced up the survivals to the point where I almost lost my starter and lost the run immediately. Just barely surviving, we move on through to our first mini-boss, Eternal Champion Garrus, which honestly wasn't that difficult at all. He was a bit tankier than the average opponent, and his second phase really wasn't an issue because it healed us in between. So we steamrolled him and got our second character, Kitana, who would end up being more important than I ever expected. Moving on from that to the first real test though, the final boss of the Fire Temple, Thunder God Raiden. The first 2 phases are nothing to write home about, but phase 3 is where things took a turn. So far, so good. Third phase might be gimmicky. I like they have a lot less armor than they used to, but I see he now has way more. What are you doing? Raiden? Raiden? Can you stop? What is this? Hold on now. I can't lose to Boss Raiden. Holy shit, he got me! Okay, he beat Sub-Zero. I have to use a character I have no idea how to use now. That's horrible. Between his giant AoE that I couldn't dodge because I was in the corner, him armoring through my attacks, hitting with a fully charged Thunderbolt, this was it. We lost our starter already. Our backs are already against the wall with only Kitana left. Alright, our only hope is if Kitana Serena can zone him out. That is our only hope. And he's got the shield, so I don't think I could actually even physically touch him with any of this. Bro. How much chip damage do you need? And with a teleport, I can't even zone him out. Wait. He's weak. Oh my god, Kitana did it. Kitana did it. Kitana, you've earned the fatality. Okay, maybe not. Kitana did it. We are not out. I thought we were about to restart. Which thankfully, through the power of fan spam, we were able to keep our distance and just barely beat Raiden and get our next character, Sindel, and beat the Fire Temple. So this Mesa was already more of a challenge than I thought. Still shaken from losing Sub-Zero, my team of Kitana and Sindel recruit a wild Reiko on our way to the next Mesa, the Sundew Festival. The second Mesa started out horribly by killing Sindel and Kitana early on another survival node. Fitting that the festival fireworks scout 2/3 of my team. It's basically just Brick Breaker. Holy shit! I'd rather not lose Kitana because her projectiles are like the key to success right now. He's got to basically not get... Are you kidding me? Leaving only Reiko to carry the rest of the Mesa. Thankfully, he was at least able to tank a few hits from the survival challenge and carry us all the way to our first mini-boss, Soul Stealer Shang Tsung, who went down without any issues and added Omni-Man to our team. Switching between Omni-Man and Reiko, we were able to steamroll the rest of the Sundew Festival until we hit the final boss, Acidic Reptile. Reptile, once again, really wasn't too much trouble until the final phase, where he did this really annoying acid spit that I took way too much damage from. What is this? I don't know what this is that he's doing. I don't like it. I don't like anything about this. What am I supposed to do about this? We just do this, I guess? Yeah, dude, I don't. My Reiko combos are not as good as they were before. But once again, Reiko is an absolute tank and was able to survive the beating and take Reptile down without much issue, even landing a brutality on him. Nice. Beating Reptile added Kung Lao to the team, who, since I don't really know how to use him, makes him great fodder to throw at the next survival challenge. The Sundo Festival started out dicey, but the absolute unit that is Reiko was able to carry us to victory and to the next Mesa, the Living Forest. As we entered the Living Forest, General Shao slips and falls his way onto our team with his good buddy Reiko. Since I'm trying to learn Shao, I figured this was a great chance to practice combos, so I used him as much as possible. This Mesa, I think, was the easiest one yet. We destroyed mini-boss Kenshi to add havoc to the team, and continued to go uncontested until we hit the final boss of the Mesa, Ravenous Melina. I wanted to see how tough she was, so I sent Kung Lao in to test the waters, but he was actually able to beat her issue-free. The only real move she did that caused any issue was this Psy Rain move, which he did in her third phase, but Kung Lao was able to clutch it out to get us through the Living Forest with 0 losses. Beating Melina added smoke to our team, and we're starting to look a lot more stacked heading into the next Mesa, Shang Tsung's Laboratory. Going into the 4th Mesa, we add Nitara to the team, another great fodder character. Since she's already got such high mobility, I had the idea to pump 100% of her experience into HP to make her the perfect survival character. We'll see how this works later, but at the time, I thought I cracked the code to beat every one of these easily. But Shang's Lab was honestly the easiest Mesa yet. The next 2 bosses, Sub-Zero and Rain, went down with a whimper. The only unique part of the Rain fight was this really weird water beam he does that served no real purpose other than to keep us away from him. Using Shao, we just used his projectile and blasted him into oblivion, issue-free, to beat this Mesa easily. So at this point, we're starting to get comfortable. We've got Shao, Reiko, Havoc, Kung Lao, Smoke, Nitara, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, and Tanya all available. At this point, I was feeling like nothing could really stop us.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
So following that, we go to the 5th Mesa, the Tarkatan Colony. It's been a while since we've been humbled, so the colony decided it was time to thin our ranks a little bit with another survival mode. This one looks easy, but just one mistake was enough to take out both Nitara and Tanya, an unbelievable amount of HP. So we should be able to survive anything. Holy shit. Maybe not one more hit. Oh, that's just mean. That's just mean! How's I supposed to do that? Okay. Good. Tanya touches it. She touches one and dies immediately. Alright. Good, good. Johnny, good. Johnny did it. Johnny lived. Thankfully, Johnny had the HP to just barely survive and get us through the next area. So the only real challenge after that was the final boss, Brutal Queen Sindel, who just loves to turn her fight into another survival mission with these incredibly annoying homing attacks. Combined with her armor made her probably the hardest boss yet, but General Shao was able to brute force his way through it to defeat her and take us into the final Mesa, Rampart. So this is it, the final Mesa. All we need to do is get through one more survival mission and 3 bosses to beat the first ever MK1 Nuzlocke. So for survival, I figured if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and let Johnny handle it. It was one of those annoying ones that are nearly impossible to dodge. Thankfully, the damage wasn't too bad and Johnny was able to tank it, getting us over the first real hurdle. After that, every other boss in this area has 3 phases, so between final boss versions of Reiko and Havoc, we had our work cut out for us. Thankfully, they both went down pretty painlessly. Reiko didn't really have a unique gimmick outside of some of his moves just being armored, and Havoc just had this stinky fart gas the entire time draining our HP, but Shao was once again able to brute force his way right through them. After that, it was time. Raid boss Nitara, the true final boss of this challenge. Last season, Scorpion was able to take a few rounds off of me before I was finally able to beat him. So I was expecting this to be the real challenge of the run, and, well, it kinda was. She has multiple phases like every other boss, each one adding a new gimmick, but the most threatening one was this homing bloodshot she does. I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to dodge this. That, plus the permanent life drain from being near her, plus the further life drain from the stinky gas that she also has. This one came down to the wire until... And we got the brutality to finish her off. General Shao carrying from the moment we got him, and we have completed the first ever Invasions Nuzlocke. Got the pretty cool Nitara skin. And what else did we get? Other stuff, I guess. We got the Bloody Fangs to open all the endgame content. we were able to clutch it out with General Shao, who basically carried the entire run once we got him. We got our incredibly satisfying ending of Liu Kang deleting Megan Fox and returning her back to hibernation from whence she came, and celebrating our victory of the very first Mortal Kombat 1 Invasion's Nuzlocke. So this was fun. The whole point of this challenge was to take a piss easy mode and try to make it a little bit harder, and we absolutely did that at first. However, after we started to recruit a few more characters, it did kind of revert back to being a typical Invasions playthrough by the end of it. So one thing I would change is the recruitment method. If you guys plan to try this, I would change the rule so a new character is only recruited either from starting a new Mesa or only from a boss fight, not both. But hey, this was a video I wanted to try the second I saw the Invasions trailer, so I'm glad we finally did it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and give it a try yourself. Any more suggestions for rules, drop them in the comments below and just maybe I'll incorporate them into the next video. But that said, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Subscribe for more content and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, everybody.